Welcome back to High, Wide, and Handsome, a racing podcast right here on the Arson Brothers Network. I am Matt Klein, got the full cast with us tonight. Woo. Shawn Allen back from wherever he may have been last week. We just don't know. Jeff Griffith, Michael Sizemore, everyone joining us. We'll check in with Shawn first. How's it been going? Where were you last week?
All right, listen, contrary to popular belief, I really was going on a work trip. I have another work trip this week, but I had to carve out enough time to be here to save Matt from these clowns and all their opinions. I almost wrecked the truck on Carson's Going to Beat Chase for the most popular driver. Like, somebody don't even know how that award works. Dawsonville, send your mail there. And then Size and Ty Gibbs, my God, I almost rolled the truck over the hill at that point. What is wrong with you people? So I had to get back, man. I had to get back.
I do appreciate it. It was rough without you, genuinely.
We're soothsayers predicting the future.
Oh, man, fancy. Right. Fancy terminology down there. We'll check in with Mr. Fancy Pants Michael Sizemore. How are you, sir?
Bro, I'm doing good, chasing that neon rainbow, living that honky-tonk dream. I just had a boring week, watched some cars on track, watched some horses on track, but other than that, just working and living.
Living the dream. And Jeff Griffith, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. It's May the 4th when we're recording this, so many people know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so been loving that today. And over the weekend, got to take my daughter. Got to take her to her junior prom.
Oh, sweet.
And there's a great picture floating. I'll have to send it to you guys of her wearing the Hall of Fame alumni NASCAR Champions of Tomorrow jacket with her dress. She's not real happy about it. She was cold, so she put it on.
Very nice. And yeah, that was awesome. She looked beautiful.
I know I actually feel old as crap now, knowing that your daughter's going to junior prom.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
But she said she did get some compliments on the jacket at McDonald's after the prom.
Yeah, McDonald's seems like the spot to get some compliments on that jacket.
Yeah.
Mainly at like 6 a.m. when the old men are in there getting their coffees, but maybe after prom too.
Oh, that's great. I went to the North Carolina Fried Apple Pie Festival over the weekend in Sparta, North Carolina. Really cool little festival. They had, I think, 7 different pies, and they were doing a judging. The winning pie, they were doing them on a Blackstone grill. I mean, much like a normal fried pie, and that was the winner. But that was not my winner. I'll shout out the Brushy Mountain, North Carolina Fire Department doing the smoked apple pies. That, for me, was the winner. But that was a really fun little event.
Man, I was so jealous when I saw you. Well, actually happy for you, but really jealous. Dude, I love a fried apple pie. Growing up, it was one of Mom's things she did. You take your canned biscuit and fill it and do it. Oh, love it.
Very nice,
yeah, man. Nobody in my family ever made them, but hitting them church bake sales with the old women there making fried apple, sometimes fried peach, also delicious with canned peaches. Pies, love me a good fried pie.
We did have one peach pie while we were there as well. One place had apple and peach. Yeah, it was good just going around. I mean, it was pretty much a food festival, the apple pie, and then there was a bunch of food trucks as well. Had some good grub and vendors and stuff. It was really cool. Little town, really not all that far out of Withville, Virginia, or listeners are familiar with it. It's not super far, but man, I didn't realize down through there. I'd never been down 21. Just note it is one of the nation's largest areas where they grow evergreens, like pine trees. And I mean, there's hundreds of thousands, possibly literally millions, all the way down through there. And talked to our crew chief, Kendall, and he said, I didn't even see them all. It goes on around towards another way and stuff. It was really, it was neat, but really interesting to see, certainly.
Awesome.
I did that and watched some racing. And watched, as I said, Kentucky Derby, a wild one there.
Did y'all ever figure out if they burned those horses out when they win?
I didn't see any burnouts. I didn't see no jockeys hanging off the side of the horse either.
Did a Michael Jordan owned horse win? That's all I want to know.
Probably.
Was that in the contract?
It was the first ever woman trainer of a Kentucky Derby winner.
Was it Golden Slumbers, Golden Smog? I don't know, Golden something on it.
Golden something I've already forgot as well, but yeah. But always fun to throw that on. But what else was to throw on was tons of racing, even all across the country, really. And we're going to head first to the Lone Star State at Texas Motor Speedway and cover the NASCAR Cup Series as we'll roll into our lead lap segment. And that puts us on to the lead lap, where we break down all things NASCAR. And we had a trio of Texas affairs this weekend. I thought a really good weekend of racing for Texas, especially a track that I think everyone almost in the industry guilty of dumping on over the last few years has been getting better. And I thought we saw a pretty good weekend. But we'll start with the truckers. Big truck race down there where we saw Carson Hocevar continue his winning streak, at least for that moment, pull off a big win over his teammate Kyle Busch. Interesting dynamic there, certainly. But it was an interesting race, slick track. That track at Texas always, it is right on the edge of grip, and we saw it ruin some people's nights in the truck series. Before we get to that victory, we'll talk about some of that. We saw what caused some spins that caused a couple of guys to get down in that grass, and man, it just opened up some trucks like a can opener. Did you see Grant Enfinger and then Justin Haley's? I think even worse, man. Those were nasty hits in that grass.
That grass all weekend long. I mean, not so much Sunday, but for Friday and Saturday, that grass was a killer, man. It was just straight up destroying cars.
I mean, and Justin Haley looked like he was doing the Dukes of Hazzard jump there for a moment.
He did, man. I think he was a little sore after that one, it sounded like, from what I gathered, which, I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So also Lane Riggs with the fast truck, and then they pitted and realized at one point that the back glass, obviously not legit back glass, but we'll call it that, back glass was coming out. And so we saw them first use tape to hold it in there and to give them enough time to come back around and pop rip it. But I thought that was an interesting scene, not something you see every race.
I don't know that I'd ever seen that before, man. At first I was like, what are they doing? And then finally figured out it was the back glass, but that was wild, man. I don't think I'd ever seen that before.
I was glad they were able to get fixed for him.
I just kind of assumed that, like, it was, I don't know, I thought it was, like, mounted in there, solid piece type thing. I didn't even know it could get loose and fall out, but apparently it can.
that it can, and it did, but certainly a rarity.
But, hey, he overcame. I mean, everything that happened with him tonight, starting from the back and all that, still right up there in the mix of, like, what Joey Logano said was like some of the best racing he'd ever saw in his life.
Yeah.
Man, I'm kind of inclined to agree with him there at the end. That was some amazing stuff.
It was. That was battling. And Lane ended up 6, so a huge recovery for them. But it was an absolute, some great racing. And, I mean, at the front of the field even, those guys were mixing it up back and forth. It was really awesome to see. Truckers putting on a show.
You know, I mean, I might be inclined to say I think of all the 3 races at that track this weekend, that may have been my favorite overall.
Yeah, I get it. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was good.
And certainly, we got to mention Carson and Kyle Busch battle. Kyle Busch, now worth mentioning, Kyle Busch did get into the wall early in the race and get some damage. They recovered from that and were certainly in mix for the end. But Carson straight up got the victory over the old timer, if you will. And them as teammates, an interesting dynamic because Kyle Busch recently openly stating he does not like Carson Hocevar. Carson seems to be very unbothered by that and still pretending they're friends. I don't know what the story is there. It's kind of funny, though.
If I can interrupt for just a second, I'd like to talk about the movie Shrek. Okay. Hear me out. This relationship is basically Shrek and Donkey. Kyle Busch is Shrek. He is the old grumpy ogre, you've got Donkey as Carson Hocevar, over exuberant, just he oblivious to the fact that Shrek Rowdy Busch can't stand him. And at the same time, if all this is going on, is Jeff Dickerson, Princess Fiona. Carson is trying to soften up Rowdy Shrek so that Jeff Dickerson will fall in love / hire Rowdy when the time comes. And in the middle of all this is Farquaad Richard Childress.
But I want to know then if Jeff Dickerson, that's his, and who is Denny Hamlin? Because we did see some interesting stuff there. I mean, you got to keep it going now. You've got all these cars.
All I want to say right now is, Bud, if you ever compare my man Shrek to Kyle Busch again, we're going to throw hands.
Oh, man. Well,
also want to plug Lebanon High School drama team who will be doing Shrek the Musical this weekend, May 8th and 9th at the Lebanon High School Auditorium. So if you're in the Russell County area, come out and see Shrek the Musical.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. But, yeah, I love that Shrek theory, Jeff. That is hilarious, and that's great.
At the end of the day, I just love that Kyle Busch has a hate list. You know, as another crotchety old man, I'm digging the energy. You know, so, Carson,
you're an old
Brad,
crybaby, of course you got a hate list, and of course there's people that are 100 times better than you on track now.
Wait, hold on. I don't know that okay, maybe, but Carson, Brad, and Joey. What a list.
Yeah, Brad's the only one out of the three that's even close to skill-wise in Carson as a Kyle now. The other two are just miles ahead of him. Like me saying I hate Dale Earnhardt Jr. in his NASCAR podcast.
Oh, man.
We ain't punching down like that. So
Well, that certainly wouldn't be the end of Kyle Busch's weekend, which we will dissect much more in our Cup Talk before we move along. I'll mention Caden Honeycutt in third, very disappointed in himself. I thought beating himself up a little too much, thought he had a great night, but I do think, as he said, that truck may have actually had the speed in it to win, but you saw it, I think it showed in the Truck Series, the veteranship of those Cup drivers, just how much better they were on the restarts, getting into that corner, especially the first few corners, and bushwhacking, whether you like it or not. But it was created an interesting sight there, and it created fun racing at the front of that. But I did want to mention Honeycutt, certainly.
And, I mean, Caden got the points, there. He's not – the other two that finished ahead of him aren't trying for the truck championship. He is, so – Not a bad night for him. I can see being disappointed, but still, overall, good night for you, Caden.
And I definitely think Honeycutt's wins are coming.
Oh, yeah, I do too. And Honeycutt is the points leader now, up 14 over Chandler Smith. So, I also want to mention Parker Kligerman returned to the Truck Series in that Dodge and got them one of their better finishes, 11th place run at Texas. I thought that was pretty solid for them. That program, a lot of downs, but they are, you do see some signs of them building, and I think a long way to go, but signs are starting to show themselves.
Hurt me for Parker not to be in the 75 truck, but I am glad that he got to get out there and run a little bit for Dodge.
Yeah, absolutely. Ross Chastain was in this race as well, but didn't really make much noise. Ran around like 8th to 15th all night, kind of.
Yeah, I think he ended up with the top 10, but like you said, not a lot of noise from him, really.
Looks like he ended up 12th here, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's the theme of Ross's season. Not a lot of noise from him, sadly.
Yeah.
2026 Ross, not a lot of noise.
This is true, unfortunately, if you're a Ross fan anyway. But that was the truck show, which moved us on into Saturday and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, where we saw another bushwhacker, much to Size's dismay, as Kyle Larson brought home a win, and we saw some fast junior motorsports cars there.
Yeah.
Allgaier and Larson were certainly the cream of the crop. We saw a great battle with them at the end of this thing, which we'll go deeper into the race, but great battle with them at the end of that thing. Allgaier could catch him, but he couldn't pass him, the age-old saying, and that showed itself very true on Saturday.
if I'm not mistaken, each JRM, well, obviously not Corey Day because he wrecked out early, but the other 3 JRM cars won all the stages and the race, right? Zilch got the second stage.
Yeah, it was Allgaier stage 1, Zilch stage 2, and then Larson with the win. So yeah, sweep of the stages. I mean, they're just. I mean, obviously, it goes without saying, but Junior Motorsports bringing very fast cars.
Yeah.
Everywhere, really.
I mean, all you have to do to look at the difference in like where Raja finishes when driving a Junior Motorsports car versus where he finishes when it's in a Jordan Anderson. And that's not to throw shade at Jordan Anderson. I really respect what they're doing with that program. But those Junior Motorsports cars are just on another level.
Yeah, I hate Raj. You'd almost think it's stuck in those Jordan Anderson because I'm like you. I'm a fan of Jordan Anderson Racing. I think they're really on the up and up, but you can certainly see the struggles more so, and we saw it in this race. He ended up having a spin. Hated to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jeb. I love Raj, and so obviously big fan of Jordan Anderson Racing. And I feel like that they are a team that can be there sometime. I mean, they're just not consistent like Junior Motorsports. Junior Motorsports is up there all the time, but Jordan Anderson can be there sometimes.
Yeah, they can. And and another thing too is I wonder if regardless of how strong each team is or whatever, it has to be hard to be doing these split schedules like this. I mean, I would say it's even hard for like Carson Quapple, for example, going between 2 Junior Motorsports teams. So, like what Raj is doing, part of the season over here, part of the season over there. And 1 week you're in this rocket ship, every time you're in it. And the next week you're in not a bad car by any stretch of the imagination, but you're going to have more struggles. And that just has to be really difficult, man. I think anyway.
Yeah. I agree,
even just dealing with different crew chiefs, it's just overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be so hard. And possibly, I feel like for Raj and anyone in that situation, and Quapple too, later in the season, it takes more time probably to build those relationships because you have to do it twice. So, maybe later in the season, some of that gets worked out more as time goes on. But yeah, that has to be extremely difficult for everyone involved, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know, all the details, of course, but just, huge Raj fan and hear him talk about a lot of it. And even on the weeks that he is racing the Jordan Anderson cars, he still travels with all the Junior Motorsports guys. You know what I mean? Like he still travels them, still does the signing at the hauler with them. It's just it's a unique situation.
Yeah,
to put it. Yeah,
absolutely.
What'd you guys think about on those restarts, Allgaier and Larson just leaning on each other there? I think that was about to get a little antsy,
I think I was going to get to that. I think Allgaier was a little bit upset with Larson, if you want my honest truth.
That's what I thought.
He was a little catty on the radio, and I thought a little catty in his post-race interview. Just, nothing major. It's Allgaier, but I think you could tell he was a little upset. But they were just racing hard. I don't know. That was an unique situation, though, on that getting in line, coming to that restart when they came together.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Another thing, Larson, though,
agitated Allgaier.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and Larson definitely didn't pull any punches on any of those restarts that came up to the field. At one point, man, when he went between, I can't remember who it was now, 2 younger guys. It was wild, dude. He just put it in there and said, heck with it, I'm going.
It was between Connor's on my list right here because we got to talk about that. It was between Connor Zilch and Brent Marks, and it was, again, much like in the truck race, some of the best racing, but it was Larson coming through the field making passes, which is what Larson does best. Larson, even in the dirt world, he is known for being the best to get through lap traffic, and he gets through traffic even in NASCAR, probably still better than anyone, whether he's winning races or not, which obviously he's going to win again, but just saying he gets through traffic like no other driver right now in anything he's in, really. And I got to give a shout out again to Brent Cruz, who we talked about there, man. This kid is mind-blowing, just top 5 after top 5, literally every race he's running. Won the Dash for Cash this week. Just truly remarkable to see what they're doing. And he's supposed to be a road course guy. We'll see. He's coming to a road course. We haven't even been to one yet. Not to cut you off, Jay.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, there was moments I legitimately thought he may win that race Saturday.
He's got winning speed every week. He's just... he's 10 races in, he's going to have to learn to put it together. But I mean, no knock on him, as literally he's so fresh in the series, but definitely impressive and something we're certainly keeping our eye on.
What a time we live in right now to watch these young guys, man. I mean, and I know we use the generational talent comment. We used it a lot with Connor, and I do think Connor's that, and that's going to get worked out. But dude, right now, just in O'Reilly, Cruz, William Swalich is another one. Corey Heim, wherever he's floating around every weekend. Guys, the future is something when you watch these young guys go, because we're seeing, uber talented young guys right now. So it makes me excited for the future, truthfully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We're lots of very extremely promising young talent on the way, which says to some of these what will soon be the elder statesmen of the Cup Series, you better watch your back.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. We'll see. But I want to know, Brent Cruz up to 14th in points now, and he missed the first 5 races of the season. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that point situation, Allgaier obviously still on top, 121 over Sheldon Creed now. Allgaier still just on a tear in the O'Reilly series.
It's tearing them up in points and getting more pissed off every week.
I think so, man.
We talked about it in our opening shows. Allgaier, just with this point system, it's perfect for him. And barring any kind of late season absolute catastrophe, then I think he's going to go into the chase the points leader easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. At some point, he's going to block down the regular season championship, if you will. I don't know when, but if he keeps on this path, it's going to be in the summertime, I do believe. Shout out Jeremy Clements, another top 10. Had a great run last week, backed it up this week. I thought that was good to see. Shout out to our friends over at Alpha Prime Racing, a pair of top 20s for both of those cars, Brendan Poole and LeVar Scott. And let's see, Brandon's still hanging around in the points, sitting 16th still. So good stuff from Alpha Prime Racing as well.
I thought LeVar looked really good at times on Saturday. I think he had an issue, ended up in the grass, didn't tear his car up or anything there at one point. But other than that, I thought he looked really good, impressive on the track.
Yeah, to come back from that spin at this slick, fast Texas track, I thought was impressive as well. LeVar's done a really good job here to be his first time even seeing most of these places. I think he's done a really good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Love to see it.
We didn't bring up, but I need to bring up real quick. What about Maggio almost taking out the pace car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did, man. Maggio had spun around and pulled out right in front of the pace car. The pace car actually had to swerve to avoid him, something you certainly don't see very often.
Yeah, it was one of those ones, I rewound and watched that 4 times. I was just like, what the crap?
Yeah, that was funny. All right, that will roll us right into Sunday. The Cup Series took on the Texas Motor Speedway, or the Texas Ice Rink, if you will. It was pretty slick all again.
Hey, before the race even started, I want to say how cool it was. The national anthem done by one of the few surviving, was it D-Day or just World War II in general? I can't remember exactly, but that guy, I saw him up there and how he looked, how elderly he was. Oh God, this is going to be cringy because they're just rolling him out here because of who he is and what he's done in life, which is a great accomplishment. But when he started singing, it was actually really good. So
it is awesome.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, he bet. I think it was the last survivor of Iwo Jima. I think was what I said. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was really cool to see. I agree. He had some power behind his voice, especially to be of that age. It was cool.
And then speaking of power behind their voice, we get the command gave by Tom Araya.
Yeah, man, I didn't know that was happening. I got real excited for that. Actually, that was pretty cool. They're playing there in October. That would be a fun show. That was the tie-in. I didn't know that either, but I thought that was cool.
It's actually on my birthday. If anybody wants to go to Texas,
there you go.
Take Shawn to go see Slayer for his birthday. All right,
I'm in.
We'll go through this one then step by step as we're at the beginning. We also saw pre-race shenanigans from Denny Hamlin up there tapping on the pace car, messing with the that rookie from the NBA. I forget his name. I do apologize. But all that to say, a good atmosphere, I think, in Texas, and they had a huge crowd. I thought that was one of the better Texas crowds they had in a while too. So that's always good to see.
I think I heard it was like close to, if not like right at sold out.
Yeah, and they have a large capacity down there, so that's really cool. Yeah. But we saw stage 1 start the race. An interesting pit cycle was created by a situation where we saw Todd Gilliland on that slick track spin collect the leader, Christopher Bell. Bell almost missed it. He was so close to avoiding it, but he did not. And to send him into the wall ruined his day. And I think that was the moment, not just Bell, because Bell obviously had a fast car, but that changed the whole race from that moment on, because it set up strategy. Like if you look at that butterfly effect, that was the moment that changed this race. And I think as a viewer, I think maybe for the better, because it made some pretty interesting situations. That's all debatable, obviously. But it's all an interesting pit cycle there that allowed Eric Jones to sneak up there and get a stage 1 win. So good for those guys.
Apparently, that was Eric Jones's first ever stage win.
Yeah.
The man has won races, but never a stage.
I heard that as well and was shocked. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, I think he's got like 3 wins or so, but no stage wins. Really odd.
That's cool. Yeah, I love Eric Jones. I mean, I love that Legacy Motorsports team, too, and good to see Jones get a stage win. Yeah. Whatever accomplishments he can get in the season, I'm happy for.
Oh yeah, and they can. That's some good stage points for them. I'm sure they're in need. So yeah, I thought that was good to see as well. And that will not be the last that we speak of a legacy car today, but we'll get to that. Stage
fault though.
Well, stage 2, we saw the pit road drama. Like, I mean, maybe the most ever. We saw Briscoe and Kyle Larson both essentially kind of get their days ruined with that pit road. They both had damage enough that they were non-factors after that. And it was a while. And then the wildest moment, we saw Joey Logano absolutely decimate himself and Cole Custer. Like, Cole Custer was dead stop, though, to be fair to Joey. Like, it was just a situation. That pit road was a mess all day, really. But that, during stage 2, certainly being the biggest cluster of it.
Well, I've gotten my notes here. I said Logano hasn't recovered from Matt's golden shower of shame. And I think that's it, man. I think you did something to him.
Yeah, 22 teams struggling.
Yeah. The 2 things on that. One is that pit road sequence was just flat out wild. Like, I was like, what else are they going to show? Because it was like this and then that. It was crazy. But right before that, there was a point where Corey Haim passed Joey Logano, and I was like, man, that just. I don't know. It almost was kind of like symbolic in some ways, because when I was watching, I was like, dude, I get a feeling we may be seeing more of this to come. But it just watching a guy that's running part-time just zoom past Joey, I was like, wow, that, I don't know. It just struck me. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of that part-timer, if you will, that let Corey Haim get up there and led 69 laps. Like, he led a chunk of that. Was very fast, however. It was strategy related. We knew he wasn't going to be there, but I think he would have had a top 15, possibly up to a top 10, had the ice rink that we call Texas not bit him in that final stage, as we saw him find the edge of a cup car the hard way. But I mean, that's what it takes to learn. So I think Haim's certainly going to be all right. But definitely, I mean, when he got to the front, he was gone. He looked good up there leading.
Man, that's good experience for him to see what it's like to be up there leading in the cup car too. I mean, that's like Shawn said, that's visions of the future. That really is.
Yeah.
Up until the spin, I think it was a great day for Haim. Got to lead up there. I mean, got to do some interesting pit decisions because, I mean, who cares? You're not running for points, you're not running for honor points or anything like that, I don't think. You're just out there running a race. And if you want to run that thing till it's down on E and those tires are burned up, then run it. Try to keep that lead. So, Yeah, I thought it was a really good day for him overall, especially, for him, hopefully, next season be looking at a full-time Cup ride, just a good race to get out there and get some positive experience in a Cup car.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can't help but wonder that one time that they were holding on, just hoping for a caution. What could have been different if that would have happened?
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder what could have been different.
Yeah, he had a fast car. I mean, they would have been in the mix, at least in the top 5, top 10 Vicks had they stayed out. And again, all that what if, of course. But yeah.
Yeah.
He may have had one of the fastest actual cars on the track.
I think certainly Hamlin and the
Denny
9 and the 11 were certainly faster. I think Chase was the cream of the crop all day. I think it started showing itself late in stage 2. I heard Denny actually even talking about that on his show today. He said he realized late in stage 2 that he didn't have much for the 9, and we saw it there. Corey Haim's late race spin actually set it up. The final battle for the win between Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin seems to come down to those two a lot over time, which, I mean, really just speaks to the talent level of both of them, to be honest. But Chase outdueled him. I think that answers the questions for me. That slams the book closed on the questions of Chevrolet this season, as they completely outdueled that. And if anyone had any doubts of Chase, I think that proves Chase is a real championship contender this season now in my book. I think that certainly locks that down as well.
So Chevy's demise was greatly exaggerated about this whole situation. Just because Trackhouse is having a hard time pulling it together, don't mean us HMS guys is having that much of an issue. Okay, and I think Chase showed that this weekend. He was the fastest car there at the end. Now I know there's other things that played a role in, like clean air was definitely king, and there's a lot of things you had to do to hold on to that win. But man, this whole Chevy, I think 5 of the top 10 were Chevys even. So just quit waving the whatever it is flag on Chevy, where everything's just fine over there. Now I mean Toyota also obviously is very fast as well. I heard a stat that Chase's last 3 wins, Denny finished second. So that's that's kind of it's just because they like to give me a heart attack. This whole Chevy demise thing just needs to settle down. I think things are just fine with Chevrolet.
Yeah,
the HMS this season is kind of like me going to work in the morning. They started out dragging, a little crusty, not moving too fast, and now that the day's going on, they're picking up. Because Bowman, another good finish for Bowman.
Love that.
Yep, another podium spot for Bowman. His return looks like he's back to form. He had a great day. I thought this one even more impressive than Talladega, because this one, I mean, it's more of a driver situation there. So very awesome to see.
Absolutely.
And I think Chevrolet was down just a bit at the first start of the year, maybe a mile and a half. But I mean, if you thought it was going to take very long to overcome, then you've not been paying attention for forever, basically at this point. And I mean, two Hendrick engines on the front row. Yeah, it was Spire cars, but that's Hendrick engines in those cars, Carson and Suarez. And shout out for them for the pole and the outside pole. That was cool to see. And Suarez all day ended up 6th. Man, he's proving himself yet again. I thought it was awesome. And Carson, for that matter, ended up 7th, so right behind him. Great day for Spire.
Absolutely, man. And I was going to mention, too, I think Connor and SVG both finished maybe 16, 17, something like that. Yeah. So that's improvement, too, for them. I mean, and they start letting SVG sneak up in that top 20. We know what's coming up. So, if they start pulling back in those top 20s on the ovals again, we got a run of SVG tracks coming up here real shortly.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about that other Chevy team? The one, that's got that old man driving his nicotine pouch car who was a little pissy baby and put a guy on the wall on the last lap for no reason. How'd they do?
Well, we'll get right into that then. As we saw, before we break it down, we saw Kyle Busch having a pretty solid day, ran top 10 pretty well all day, qualified good. Was running, I think, battling for 12th on the last lap, or maybe the second to last lap with John Hunter Nemechek. Obviously, there's 2 ways to look at it, however you want to take it, but John Hunter and Kyle Busch got together down the straight, and then when they got to the corner, Kyle Busch just obliterated, I don't know how else to say it, John Hunter Nemechek straight turn. I mean, he turned right in the corner, knocked him into the wall. It was very aggressive. Not the only aggressive move we saw at the end of that thing. We'll get to that as well. Don't think we aren't, Mr. Preece. But nonetheless, and then the feud really started after the race. Well, first off, John Hunter got out and had blood all over his face, which threw up some, it threw up some reports that there was a fight. All of that was not accurate. He just had a nosebleed during the race, and what do you do but let it bleed? You're in a race car driving 180 miles an hour. But nonetheless, after that, on the old Twitter box or X, whatever you want to call it, those two were really having at it. Kyle Busch saying that John Hunter was not running the wall, was down on him, and Kyle was just running his marks, that he didn't start it. He certainly finished it. What do you guys think?
I think you called it earlier. I was talking to you off the show earlier today. I think Kyle Busch, I think he's not going to get suspended. I think he's going to get institutionalized. I think the man is going through some things, and I think he needs therapy, like you said. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It's a bad situation. If you just look at the weekend that he had from, we'll start with him, at the truck race all the way up until the tweets last night. This is a man that's just, I don't know what's going on with him. It seemed like yesterday seemed like he had pulled things together for most of the race, and I was like, this is all they needed. I heard the talk of him having the big speech last week saying he's all in. New crew chief. Things look positive. Running a pretty cool looking paint scheme. It seemed like it was like a fresh start yesterday. And then just that at the end of the race, it was like, what is going on? I don't know. I mean, Andy Street just walked into a minefield here.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, that I can think of. I mean, we've seen the decline that a lot of drivers have as they get older. It's like me in fantasy and my decline. We'll talk about that in a few minutes as I got older. But, I mean, it's really just it's concerning for me. I mean, I know size ain't concerned. We get that. Okay, fine. But, dude, there's something going on there, and it's worrisome, really, because he's a week away from fist fighting Ty Dillon or something like that. I mean, it's crazy.
How are y'all worried and concerned about this? He's been a whiny little baby his entire career, and now he just runs with guys who are mid to back of the pack instead of running with guys at the front of the pack. So that's who he's feuding with instead of the guys at the front of the pack. It's no different than at any point of Kyle's career. It's just he's not good enough to be able to feud with somebody who's actually a race-winning driver now.
No, there you go.
You calling John Hunter, saying John Hunter ain't won races? Is that what you're saying?
Has he won a cup race?
I don't think so.
Not. He has won races, but not a cup race.
Yeah, he's won some Xfinity, I think.
No, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I just think it's more than that. I don't know. It's just really, I don't know.
Yeah, it is certainly a situation that I'm glad I'm not a part of in any fashion, and I feel for all involved because that cannot be fun.
Well, I'll speak as a Kyle Busch fan. I'm speaking directly to you, Kyle. It's okay to seek help. Stay away from Morgan Wallen concerts.
Yeah, I did see that.
And just let's try to get this thing back on the rails because size is going to never let us quit hearing about it if you don't. And, I know we would all like to see you back just in the top 10 consistently. Well, 3 of us would. So
I'd like to see him behind the pit wall and just hanging out during race weeks.
I'd like to see him in a social media feud with Jeff Griffith. So Kyle, do that. We'd love that.
If it'll help him,
we'll say 2.5 of us will. I don't like this version of Kyle Busch. If this is what we got, he can continue as he's doing for me.
Yeah.
Before we get into the other beef of the day, we'll throw a couple more shout-outs. Riley Herbst, one of his best career days again. Riley keeps getting better than speed, which, I mean, obviously 2311 has speed all around. And speaking of, Bubba Wallace ended up in the back in that backup car after an incident in practice, but ended up coming from the back up to 9th. And speaking of coming from the back, Blaney, horrible in qualifying, ended up fighting his way up into the top 10 in 10th. Busher, we have.
I think for qualifying, you just let the mustache drive. He's like, all right, take the wheel.
Yeah. Well, the mustache did not do him well. We'll touch on Buescher. He ran pretty much. It seemed like he ran like 5th, 6th, 7th right there, that range all day, and that's where he finished 5th. But another good day for that 17 team, certainly. And Preece right there, 14th, Brad 13th. I mean, it seems like every week all three of those cars are at least in the top 15.
It's kind of a weird pit strategy they had going into the end of stage 2. I wonder how that affected where they could have even finished.
Yeah, a lot of strategy came into play, really, in this race. I think the fast cars ended up prevailing at the very front, but it really shook some things up through the field. And I don't know, Eric Jones ended up 12th after that Stage 1 win, so that's a good day for them. And now we'll get to that as Legacy had a pretty good other day. Well, we touched on that. So Legacy, I guess, would have had another solid run with John Hunter had Kyle Busch not destroyed him. That'll put us with Preece. I missed my transition there. Preece and Ty Gibbs. We got to touch on that. That was Ty Gibbs had spun and had an incident at one point by himself, and then later in the race, I'm not sure exactly what happened that set Preece off. I mean, I saw him pass him, but Jeff, you may can enlighten me a little more. But Preece was infuriated on the radio, just really, really running down Ty Gibbs, and he said if he gets to him, he's going to take him out, and boy, he did. He, as SVG said about it, he watched Preece try to commit a murder.
That he went full throttle into.
Yeah. But a really wild
That's what I
incident
love
there.
about Ryan Preece. That's a man that stands on business. And post-race, he didn't really seem too apologetic either. I mean, we all saw that. I mean, he didn't want to talk about it too much at first, but then he finally said he was basically like, I'll race you how you deserve to be raced. And I did think it was kind of funny. I saw some people on Twitter saying, oh, you wouldn't say that to Ty Gibbs' face, and I am begging that to happen. Please, Ty Gibbs, say it to Ryan.
Wait, to Ty Gibbs' face? Like, who is afraid of Ty Gibbs?
Really.
Whoa, what? Hold on now. We've seen Ty Gibbs throw a punch that obviously had been taught. So hold on a minute. Let's not rag on Ty Gibbs' fighting skills. We have seen that.
We have.
I'm just saying. A guy created in a lab is going to be tough, but he's really not. I mean, it's just
Old Homelander Gibbs.
Well, certainly infuriated Preece. I think I've saw Preece upset and fiery before. I think that might have been the most one. But as Jeff said, he said he was going to do it. He backed it up, and he didn't back down that he did it. So we'll see. The question is, with both of these incidents, Kyle Busch and Preece, do we see fines or anything of that nature this week from NASCAR? We've not saw that in some time. We're in the middle of this Hell Yeah campaign. We got a new CEO who loves fun, as he's stating, but were either of these incidents over the line enough to make NASCAR step in?
I think on Kyle's, at least, if he had, got the rear quarter panel and spun him out, bumpered him more, he probably would have gotten fined there. But the way he was more, flush with the car on it, I see them probably letting it slide.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right, Size. But I mean, I would say if of the two, that was definitely the more egregious. I did see that. Preece said that he never actually made contact with Ty, and that's up for debate. I mean, I can't tell. I've watched the video. Yeah, he was saying he just packed the air on him. I don't know. I can't tell. I think he probably did get into him a little bit, but I don't know. But either way, I don't think. I was a little nervous. That's what I told you, Matt. I told you earlier. I didn't realize they don't usually put out those suspensions till Tuesday, and all morning I was nervous to even open my Twitter, afraid I was going to see the Preece.
I think, at least historically from NASCAR's taking action in these situations, they usually, a situation like Preece's where the driver calls it out publicly is historically been where they've taken more action. So it will be interesting to see. But yeah, I don't know, and it's a whole new regime of NASCAR. I mean, as they're trying to put forth, it'll be interesting to see if anything comes from it. I kind of don't think anything will on either end, but time will tell. You'll probably know by the time this is available to watch. We'll touch on the point situation a bit before we move on. Reddick obviously still in the lead, 109 over Denny Hamlin. Tight behind him is Chase Elliott, not far off Blaney. Buescher right there in 5th. Carson Hocevar up to 6th. Ty Gibbs 7th. Larson 9th. Larson 8th, Brad 9th, and Byron running out the top 10. We saw Suarez jump up to 14th. Briscoe hanging in 16th. Logano hanging 17th. SVG still hanging 19th.
So here's my question. Who do you think's the most at danger of getting knocked out by SVG after Watkins Glen?
He's only one behind his teammate Ross right now, so that's a problem for them. He's not far from Joey. Joey, he can have a good road course run, but usually don't. I could see SVG jumping at least up to 17th, 16th if he pulls off what is probably most people expect him to do this weekend.
Yeah.
But definitely interesting to watch that point situation and everything. But I thought a pretty good Texas race, one of the better ones we've saw in some time.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this is one of the better Texas weekends maybe ever. All 3 races were good. Real quick, I was going to mention one thing that I just found was interesting. I was looking at the results last night. The bottom 5 positions in this race, 34th through 38th. I want you to listen to this. Kyle Larson, Cole Custer, okay. Ty Gibbs, Joey Logano, and Christopher Bell. You could, if you'd have told me that was the top 5, I would have believed it like that. Man, what a rough week for those guys, man. It just struck me when I saw that at the bottom of the pylon. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
man, I will say I felt really bad for Christopher Bell when this situation happened. When I saw when he was sitting back there on the little train, Joe Gibbs came up and was kind of patting him on the shoulder. I felt bad for him. I feel like he's had a really bad string of luck here these past few weeks.
Yeah, Bell.
If I know one thing about Texans, it's they hate Oklahoma. So I'm willing to believe they rigged that track to make that happen, to make Gillen spin out and hit him.
I've heard of that feud myself, but yeah, Bell, they're down. I mean, they're sitting 13th in points, which a lot of teams would obviously love to be 13th in points, but that 20 team in Bell, I obviously feel like they should be at or near the top, and they're quite a ways from there going into it. I mean, I think they're fine ultimately. Most of their downfalls are from stuff out of their doing, although they've been off a little more than they'd like to have been. But, I mean, we'll see, though. Got to put it all together, especially in this new or revamped chase format.
We'll see Bell win a race or 2 this year. It's it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's a given.
On May the 9th or 10th.
No. Okay, interesting. All right, we'll touch quickly before we leave NASCAR on our Fantasy League, where I once again got, and this time I can legit call it a big win. I got a big win, guys. That was, for me, very cool to see. Gained a bit on the leader, the crew chief, Kendall, as I moved into second place past our champion Shawn there, or multi-time champion, not our current reigning champion. No offense. But, and then, so I was happy with this week's Fantasy League. Chase Elliott did me right.
There was one point where I swear every time I looked up, somebody on my fantasy team was spinning or looking like a can opener in the pits or so. I mean, so it was a lost cause. I told you I'm the Kyle Busch of this league right now. My glory days are behind me.
I'm just glad I went into this race 2 points ahead of Jeff, and now that gap is significantly increased. So best thing to happen this weekend.
Yeah, you grew that.
Fell off of my team this week, so I don't even know. So a horrible performance. So we'll get back on track this week. I'm good on road courses size.
Are you the SVG of our fantasy?
I am.
Well, I've never once saw you kick a rugby ball.
That's true. I will happily pass the trophy on to Google. If I got to give it back to Shawn, I might not even show up for the banquet. I might just FedEx it to you.
Buddy, if I come back by some miracle, I'm driving to Raven that night. You know? but it's a long way.
There you go. Air Fantasy League. If you're not playing NASCAR Fantasy, look into it. It's super fun. As we mentioned before, we'll try to get a fan league going next year, but until then, we'll keep this one rolling. All right, that is it for the lead lap. We'll move along. That moves us beyond the banking, where we dive into open wheel, sports car racing, fun things of that nature. But unfortunately, we'll start with sad news this week. Alex Zanardi passing away. He's got to start. First came to fame in F1, but his real premonition came with Chip Ganassi Racing in the early days of kart, winning the championship in 97, 98. Known for the legendary pass and the corkscrew at Laguna Seca, and being the driver that popularized post-race victory donuts and kind of burnouts. So you can thank Zanardi for that celebration that we see pretty much almost every race now. Kind of cool. But then in 2001, unfortunately, in a kart race in Germany, had a horrific accident. Lost both of his legs. His heart actually stopped. Almost lost literally all of his blood. It was known as a huge medical miracle that he survived. Really amazing to see. Come back, went on to race, ran in the World Touring Car bid and the Daytona 24 Hours race. Then pivoted to a bit of a second life as a para-athlete, winning Paralympic gold in London in 2012, Rio in 2016. He won a New York Marathon, set several Ironman records. A really remarkable human being. Then tragically in 2020, a handbike crash in Italy resulted in injuries that eventually have succumb his life, unfortunately. But just want to touch on Alex Zanardi. I mean, as a racer, an incredible racer, did amazing things. He was a crazy good driver, and then just a remarkable human being, all he went through and come back from and doing all he did. So
yeah, I'm really was unfamiliar with him until NASCAR. They did a very nice memorial for a guy who was never, a figure in NASCAR, a figure in motorsports, obviously, and then in cycling and the Paralympics. But yeah, I was unfamiliar of him until I saw NASCAR's memorial for him, and I think they did a really great job for somebody who wasn't really affiliated with their part of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very glad to see that and saw several memorials all around. But yeah, I certainly was glad to see NASCAR touch on that.
And I think that probably just really goes to show just what a fantastic and remarkable life this guy led, and how important he is to racing, that even though he wasn't ever a part of NASCAR, they would take the time to do that. That's one of those guys that you can't tell the story of a sport without. So that was pretty awesome that they did that. And yeah, just really sad to hear him passing, man. But like you said, what a remarkable life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, resilience and overcoming the odds. I mean, that's what that's about. So yeah, definitely hats off to him.
Yeah. Very good. And certainly thoughts with all of his family and all things of that nature. But we will roll on because, gentlemen, it is officially the month of May. It actually started in Indy a little early. This first Indy 500 Open Test Week. It was actually in April, but we still call it May. But it is May now. And it is time for the road to Indy. We saw 2 days of open testing. Day one, first we saw the rookie refresher program. We saw much-awaited Mick Schumacher on the Indianapolis Oval. A lot of people have been looking for that. They got up to speed pretty quick. Catherine Legg, notably, was supposed to be in the rookie refresher, but had clutch trouble on day one. She did get a shot to do a refresher on day two and was able to join the test on that second day, though. And she is going to run the Indy 500 this year, as well as announced she'll be at Watkins Glen in the NASCAR race next week for Live Fast Motorsports. Yeah. But we saw hometown hero Connor Daly in that Dreyer and Reinbold ride top the speed charts on day one, and that Indianapolis always loves to see that. I'm sure that place was ecstatic. They had a pretty nice crowd, even for this open test. It was pretty cool. Day two, We saw there was debris that no one really could find. The cut down tires of Rasmussen and Takuma Sato, which was interesting. And then we saw a fox on the racetrack. Crossed right in front of Takuma Sato. Like, it would have been bad. But the fox just kind of did like a parkour move. He crossed the track, like bounced off the wall and was gone.
Like fox.
On the run.
On track.
Yeah. There you go. We take tips. We did see a scary incident on day 2. Jack Harvey, his engine expired, and man, it exploded, a huge ball of fire. That one, it could have got bad quick, but luckily everyone was okay there. I mentioned Catherine Legg. She did get up to speed, so that was good to see. But then we saw familiar faces topping the charts. Joseph Newgarden, followed by Alex Below, dropping down really fast laps, especially for the softs. 225.6 Newgarden on top, which we'll get faster than that as the month goes on. But that for the open test speeds was quite remarkable. But that leads us all. It is coming. We got the Indy Grand Prix they do on the road course this weekend on Saturday, I think, actually, for the IndyCar. And then we head into Indy 500 practice qualifying and into the race as we go the month of May. But I'm so excited for everything coming for IndyCar.
Absolutely. I mean, y'all know that I'm not a big open wheel guy. It's been made clear on this podcast. This year I have watched a little bit more IndyCar. I've tried to watch all the oval races, which, there's been like, one?
Yeah.
But I love the Indy 500. I love Memorial Day Sunday. I love the double. It's just, so it's like racing Christmas. I mean, it and the Daytona 500 are like pretty much even for me as how much of exciting a day of racing is. So, yeah, I can't wait for the Indy and then the Coke.
Yeah, it's going to be such a great day. Yeah, I'm so excited for the 500 and for qualifying, all that, the bump day, Fast Friday. Like, it's all so fun. The build up for that race is incredible. And then the pageantry of that race, like, they pack that place. It's truly unlike any other race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my notes here. I've got, of course, Palou and Newgarden are beasts. They'll definitely be favorites, I think, as all the practices and qualifying goes. But so don't count out Pato Award. I think he'll definitely be a presence. And like you were saying, man, with Dreyer and Reinbold, I think it's a question mark, I guess. I think they're only running the Indy 500, right?
Yeah, and you see that with teams, but still, I think that makes for a harder task, certainly.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm excited, man. I think it's only going to get funner from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, it's racing Christmas, and we just when the May starts, you just get on that countdown because what other race has all this stuff leading up to it, right? All the practices, the qualifying, the everything. So it's just, man, I can't wait. Can't wait. Love that weekend.
Are we getting the Wienermobile race again?
We are, yes, and the Wienermobile race.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that. While it sounds silly, was one of the most exciting races of last year. Legit, it was so amazing, and the team that goes in so hard on every little aspect of it. I can't wait. I feel like it's going to be even better.
Yeah.
When do they do the practice and qualifying for the
Wiener race?
Yeah.
I think if you got a wiener, they just stick you out there. I mean, there's only like 6 wiener cars in the entire world.
I think that's all done on sim, brother.
Can you download the Wienermobile race on iRacing?
Oh my gosh. We're making a petition right here. iRacing. You have so many cars. Bring the Wienermobile to iRacing. You think it won't sell? It'll sell.
Oh, it'll sell.
It will.
I can't wait. Physics on that thing's like
chunky.
I can't wait to hear Dale Jr. breaking down his experience doing the wiener race. My wiener wasn't too fast there at first, but then TJ wrecked me with his wiener.
Then I squirted the mustard and it was hot right on. Oh, God.
You think Dale Jr. likes sauce, as y'all call it, on his wieners?
There we go.
Nobody calls it that.
There's no time for this Commonwealth nonsense.
Let's move on. Lord have mercy.
Wasn't there an F1 race?
There was, but before we get to the awesome F1ness in Miami, we will stop by Laguna Seca, the famed historic track. I would love, love, love so much to see NASCAR out here one time, that famous corkscrew. But we saw a pretty wild IMSA race. They were literally beating and banging all day. They were off the track, which is hard not to do there at Laguna Seca. And we saw a real David versus Goliath story. A real underdog, JDC Miller Motorsports, a small little private team, pulled off a huge win in the GTP with a late pass on the final lap. It was really cool. You don't see that very much in IMSA, a smaller team prevailing, and man, it's super exciting. And then the GTD, it come down to classic Ford versus Chevy battle, which was really cool to see. Corvette versus Mustang. Ford did prevail, but they had a great race there going for that one as well. Really fun weekend of or Saturday of racing there on the IMSA side.
Yeah, I hate that I missed that, man. I'm definitely going to go back and find those highlights and watch that probably as soon as we get done recording.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It was really good. IMSA kind of on fire this year, man. The 24 Hours of Daytona was it had some problems, but since then, man, they've been lighting on all cylinders. It's been awesome. That sends us southward, though, to the spectacle that was the Miami Grand Prix F1 invading the U.S., racing around the Hard Rock Stadium there. It was quite the setup. A fake marina, celebrities everywhere, look like parties everywhere. If F1 does nothing else now, they know how to bring a spectacle, a show, a party, a vibe, if you will, to their races. I will give them that, if nothing else.
I mean, they do Miami and Las Vegas. I mean, what other kind of spectacle cities could you pick other than those two?
Yeah,
Right.
fair enough point for sure. It was a pretty good race, at least in my opinion. One of the better F1 races. It was my first getting to watch a full F1 race this year, which I enjoyed. We saw right out the gate wild racing to start it. As soon as the green flag flew, Max Verstappen with a huge spin, but he just kept his foot in at 360s and come right on out there. It did hurt him, dropped him down to ninth. He would fight kind of in the middle of the field there all day, but an amazing save, something you don't see very often. It would get wilder, though, as we saw something you see even less often, a flip, if you will. We saw an upside-down F1 car. Pierre Gasly got clipped, and it just, shot that car over and into the wall. It was really scary there for a moment. He was okay, thankfully. But then we saw it looked like it was going to be Lando Norris's day. He led a chunk of this race, but late, the sensational 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli went by him and never looked back, pulled off his third win of the season for the 19-year-old. It's really just insane what he's doing. With the youth movement, as we talked about over on the NASCAR side, it is alive and well with Kimi Antonelli on the F1 side, too.
Yeah, dude, he's on fire. He really is. Yeah, he's looking like he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be a huge star in F1 for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy what he's doing. It's remarkable. Sad bit for Charles Leclerc there. He was going to have a podium finish, spun, coming pretty much looking at the checkered flag more or less. So you had to see that. George Russell made a crazy move in the final corner and took fourth away from Max Verstappen. But it was a pretty good race in Miami, and certainly a spectacle down there. I think good weekend for F1 all around.
I mean, with the way things have been going with Verstappen, he's been venturing into Kyle Busch territory with not caring. I actually have in my notes here, I said his save may have been his season highlight.
Yeah,
and I mean that in a good way. That save was awesome. And then, I mean, the fact that he was able to save it and stay competitive for a lot of the race. I mean, at times running up near the front and running, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's probably, I've got that as a season highlight for him, I do believe.
Well, there was, and that's, I mean, yes, speaks to how incredible that save was as it was, but also speaks to, I mean, it wasn't long ago we were bored watching these races because Max led every lap. So certainly, and I think Red Bull over there as a whole got some issues, it seems. So we'll see how that transpires, and we'll see if any moves at the end of the year go down as well.
Just a good back and forth stuff with Leclerc and Lando throughout the race. Yeah, just good stuff. I definitely think it's one of the better F1 races, man.
Yeah, I
Of
agree.
the year. Maybe the best of the year.
Yeah, it was for me. I agree with that 100%. It was good. I like that little track they put around there in Miami. It was a good little track. Had some fast shoots, some tight corners. Led to some good racing.
Looked like they were racing.
Yeah, it really did. All right, but that's going to be it for Beyond the Banking. That moves us into the Bull Ring Report, where we break down all the shirt tracking and dirt tracking that goes on around this country. And we'll start with the ARCA Series, ARCA East and ARCA West. They're billing it as ARCA Night in America on Flow. Pretty cool. We'll start ARCA East. They were at the Nashville Fairgrounds, which is really cool to see. Nashville Fairgrounds, another big race down there. We did see Max Reeves, pretty much dominated this one. The young Joe Gibbs racing driver, Bobby Labonte, his driver coach, was there cheering him on along the way. Yeah, I think him and Tristan McKee are the standouts of this East Series, but certainly we saw a massive pileup on an early restart, and we saw Jeff McConaughey completely ramping off the left tire of Toro Rodriguez. He got way airtime. It was really wild to see, especially, again, the Nashville Fairgrounds. Some wild stuff all around this year.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him at Nashville at the Fairgrounds. I mean, that's awesome for that series, to be on such a historic track. Hopefully they can get some more series on that track. But also, this is a race at Nashville Fairgrounds. I kind of expect Cletus to try to be in this one. I feel like, Nashville's a very Cletus town.
Yeah, brother. Yes. If you are on the Cletus YouTube, it is the month of freedom. It is May, and that May they make YouTube videos every day. It's their big month every year. So I don't know that we'll ever see Cletus racing May unless he goes full time.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, certainly the vibe in Nashville would fit Cletus. It would have been cool to see. I agree with you. It would have been awesome. But I think that is I think the month of May is hard for him as they do such a big promotion over there.
Hey, you gotta make that money. I get it. Make that money, Cleet.
You gotta make that money to pay for those Busch rides. And then I mentioned Isaac Kitzmiller. He had a pretty good night going. Just could not get it going on the restart side, and that's a West Virginia boy there, so I always like to keep a watch on that one. Then ARCA West had them racing the same time over at Shasta on the West Coast. Gavin Ray and Rob Connolly into it early, sparks flying. We saw Haley Deegan back. She's back in stock car side this year. She's on that ARCA West schedule. She was mixing it up and got her top 5, her first kind of good run since back in this. But it was all not to be as Trevor Huddleston. I mean, he pretty much dominated this one. An interesting move late in the race, Mason Massey, and you saw him run some other stuff. But Mason Massey, he tried to give the bump and run, but he just gave the push to the front. As when he tried his shot at Hiddleston, man, it just launched that car basically half a straightaway ahead, and he was gone. It was kind of peculiar, but it was funny. But a pretty fun. Yeah, it was a bump, and oh man, I messed up. But a fun little race on that little bull ring. They were mixing it up. It was almost like a Bowman Gray type situation. Like, you couldn't not mix it up in the corner. Fun little race there. That'll move us on to high limit racing. They were also at Texas Motor Speedway across the parking lot there at the dirt track. A couple nights of racing over the week. Night 1, we saw Young Money back to form on the sprint car side. Big victory to him, but we had a great battle between Kerry Madison, Aaron Retzel, and him. I thought they was good, and then held off a hard-charging Rico Abreu late in the race for that victory.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And, for my own personal fandom, it gets no better than Larson and Rico up there 1 and 2. So I was having a good time watching that. But a random point, I have a very large head. I'm going somewhere with this. So And it's why you don't always see me wearing hats, because it's hard to find hats that fit this noggin. Kyle Larson must have the exact opposite problem. Did y'all see him trying to wear that cowboy hat? It looked like a hat on a pencil. I mean, he finally gave up and threw it on top of the car. But it was one of the most hysterical looking things I've ever seen. that cowboy hat, Larson.
It looked like one of those noggin bosses on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man, but it was hysterical. But also a lot of fun to watch that, though.
A lot of times his caps look too big. Even I've noticed that a lot too. He's a small man,
little guy.
He is.
But he's not small behind the wheel, especially in a sprint car. Good stuff there.
I don't know what it is, man. Like nothing again. I like Kyle. I do. I like Kyle a lot. But I like him more in a sprint car than I do in a NASCAR. I don't know what it is. I just really like Kyle in the sprint cars, man.
Watching Kyle in a sprint car is truly a work of art. Every time he gets in it, I'll admit it's really fun to watch. Night 2, second race for the High Limit Series saw Aaron Reitzel get his revenge. A big win, but Corey Day was giving it all he could, working that high line, classic high and low battle there. Really fun one as well.
That was a good one too, man.
So Brent Marks, a big pile-up collected Chase Randall, pretty big one there. That was fun. A good weekend of racing down there in Texas for the High Limit Series.
Yeah, man, Dave was giving it all he had there at the end of that one to get to first. He just there for a second, I thought he was going to get him on the last lap. He was kept charging so hard, but it just wasn't to be. Really fun race.
I did too. I didn't think Reitzel would be able to hold that bottom because just Corey had that top work so high. But shout out to Reitzel. Reitzel having a great year as well. Yeah. High Limit Series is always good stuff.
For sure.
I want to give a shout out to Hot Sauce. He's been he keeps getting those top tens, and he looked really good in both of those races too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The rookie Hank Davis there got him noted, grabbed a 5th place finish as well. Good showing for that effort.
Yeah, very impressive.
We'll move on to more dirt tracking. The Lucas Oil Late Model Series. They had a couple nights of racing over the weekend as well. First off at Circle City, where Hudson O'Neal put on a show to pretty much dominate the race there in his home state, but it was not to be as he got in that lap traffic and RTJ Ricky Thornton Jr. snuck right in there and pulled off a win, held off Max Blair and Hudson at the end of that thing. But RTJ put on a masterclass slider to get that lead. He really showed our first time really seeing RTJ up to full form, in my opinion, this year was the other night. He had a great race.
Yeah. I thought he looked good in that too, man. I did watch those highlights of that.
Then they moved on to Florence Speedway, $25,000 night out there. Saw Jason Jameson take the lead early, but Hudson O'Neal was on a mission to get his redemption from that Circle City race. When he got to the front, he was gone. Pretty much dominated this one for a big payday. We saw them, O'Neal and others at the end of that thing. Moran came in, gave him a little bit there at the end. And O'Neal, man, he just basically drove the thing straight into the wall, bouncing off the wall, and on that high line. We saw a few guys doing that. It was wild. Ricky Thornton Jr. up there, ended up third. He was kind of doing that. What was the announcers at one point said he threw a slider all the way to Kings Island, banging the boards down there. Fun night of racing for Lucas Oil Dirt late models. And so much racing. Again, we'll close it out, touch on a few little things as we go. Hated to miss their hometown track, Princess Speedway. They had a pretty big late model race. I think 2K to win, but it was the same old story. Henry Hornsby third. He's dominating the late model series out here at their local track, and another big win for him there. The NARC 410 sprints on the West Coast. Saw some big racing there. Dominic Seltzy ended up with a win, snapping a 2-year winless streak. USAC action was going down. Port Royal had 410 sprints. More. There's so much racing. You can't keep up with it all, but it's fun to try.
Hey, speaking of local tracks, I saw on social media this weekend that I didn't know this was happening in Grundy, Virginia. the up on Southern Gap, that part they like the strip mine, and they've been building up there. They now have a dirt drags up there on Friday nights. I think they do like ATV, go kart, and whatever the bikes are. I don't know what you call them. Dirt bikes. Yeah, dirt bikes.
There you go.
They're doing those drag races on Friday nights.
That's cool.
E-bike.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. That sounds really cool as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we live in a good area for racing for sure.
Yeah.
It seems like only getting better, especially speaking regionally. All right, that's going to be it for the Bull Ring Report. That brings us to the Hall of Fame, where we show off halls, fines, goodies, all that sort of thing. And tonight we got a special. I'm excited to see Shawn has quite the haul. I'm going to turn it over to him to tell you about this thing.
Absolutely. So I actually, in my shoot job, I do have a career outside of talking I wish I did this all the time. But, I'm a member of several state committees in the state of West Virginia for working with individuals with disabilities. And there's a person named Carissa who is our state Olmsted coordinator, and I'm the chair of that committee. And she told me a while back, next time I see you, I'm going to bring you some stuff. I know you love NASCAR. In the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when she was younger, she was employed at Charlotte Motor Speedway and collected things. My understanding is she's not a huge NASCAR fan, so she kind of just kept all this stuff. And it's like in pristine condition, y'all, like in envelopes and all sorts of things. So I'm going to kind of show you all a little bit of what she brought me. It was some really neat stuff. First of all, this is a really unique piece. I'm sorry about the glare, but this is from the minor league baseball team in Kannapolis. In 2001 was renamed the Intimidators. And it's their opening day poster from April 2001. Actually, they're now named something else. They had this name from 2001 to 2020. They're like the Cannonballers or something like that now. I don't know. But I thought that was a really cool design.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they changed that name, that rules for Kannapolis. But, I thought that was a really neat piece. The Kannapolis Intimidators. Don't know a lot about baseball, but I really do love that poster and that name. So
that's amazing, dude. Especially first season, first game, like everything. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude, it's super cool. It's perfect condition, just incredible. Another piece that was in there was evidently she worked there around the time of the 2006 Coca-Cola 600. This hat, of course, see Coca-Cola 600 on the front. The date there, May 28th, I think it is. Yeah, 2006. And it was brand new, still has the thing on the inside. This was actually one of the hat dance hats I figured out. I looked online, and Casey Kane won the 600 that year, and I actually found a picture of him wearing, this hat in Victory Lane, hoisting the trophy. So that's a really cool thing. I'd love to have this signed by him. Figure that out somehow.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, dude. But I don't have any other hats that were part of the hat dance. I don't think so. Really cool hat right there. This is kind of, I'll figure out how to show you all this. This poster is absolutely huge. I went ahead and got a frame for it, but y'all can I'm sorry, there's a bit of a glare there, but y'all can kind of see. This was from a poster for the 2006 season at Texas Motor Speedway, which we just covered tonight.
Yeah.
It's a poster for selling their season tickets. Down at the bottom, you kind of have every race listed that's going to be at Texas Motor Speedway that year. The number, we should call this number to buy season tickets and see what happens. But anyway, it's kind of their poster. Of course, you see, my guy Jeff Gordon front and center there. Love that. Dale Jr.'s back there. A little thing I noticed, I was looking at this the other day. Right here, this little silhouette is Greg Biffle.
Yeah.
Celebrating his win from the last April. In that race. In 2005, he won the April race, and Carl Edwards won the fall race, I think. And then this year, 2006, it's being depicted, again, Casey Kane. A lot of Casey Kane-ness here tonight. He won one of those races at Texas, and Tony Stewart won the other one during this season. So anyway, really cool piece there. I'm going to pop that here on the wall somewhere in this room. But it's absolutely huge.
That's awesome. And it looks so cool framed.
Yeah. And it's in such good condition to be 20 years old.
This was literally folded up in an envelope with Carissa's address on it, where they had sent it to her. Like it was just in the envelope still.
Yeah, it looks like it just ran off the factory line.
Dude, it's nuts. It really is. I mean, it's amazing. And then my favorite, and I love all this stuff, but this is by far my favorite piece. I went ahead and threw it in a frame too to preserve it. This is a Sam Bass piece. For the I figured out it's a promotion for the 2002 fall Charlotte race weekend, the NASCAR race weekend in Charlotte that fall. I just love the design. If you didn't know, country western type things are near and dear to our hearts, and so I just really love the design on this one. The name of this one, of course, is Draw. I don't know if I can show because it'd be really hard with the lighting, but it's one of those also that Sam Bass has signed here. You can see it's right here. And then he also hand numbered these. This one's number 148 out of 500.
Wow.
So yeah, so this is really good, man. Like I love the design on this one. You can see a lot of the cars from the 2002 season lined up like they're in a duel. Of course you got Jeff, I think it's Casey Kane I saw here. Johnny McMurray over there, who actually won the Cup race on this weekend in 2002. But anyway, you got a lot of cool. Of course, Jimmy Johnson's back there. The infamous UPS Dale Jarrett car, and so on. So you can see them. But yeah, man, I love all these pieces, but I really love this one. I love the Sam Bass work. Talking about how great condition these when this was actually still in like some paper. I'd have to dig out to show you that, like almost like wrapping paper kind of thing that had Sam Bass all over it, and it was in a bag with the Sam Bass logo on it too.
Wow.
So yeah, man, love that one.
Man, you are the king of scoring sweet Sam Bass memorabilia. Like, didn't you pick up a numbered Sam Bass print at a thrift shop in Athens, West Virginia, or something?
Yeah. So we'll show that one week. It's again huge. I had to figure out getting it on here, but it was I forget what number I have, but I think out of 1,000, and it's a Sam Bass, and he signed it too, and it's Jeff Gordon's first win. Matt actually saw it and texted me and said, "Hey, you got to go check this thing out," and I ran and got it too. But dude, Thank you so much to Carissa for this stuff. I told her. When she mentioned this to me, I said, I promise I know a group of guys that we will appreciate anything NASCAR related. But I didn't expect quite this level of awesomeness, man. Such good stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I also love on that Sam Bass print, you absolutely refuse to acknowledge Rusty Wallace.
Oh yeah, that was by design. I was not saying it. We got Ryan Newman on there, Kevin Harvick's on
that's
there.
Wild.
That's
a pretty historic race. Sterling Marlin was leading the points championship, got injured. Jamie McMurray in his second ever race, or his first ever race, I guess, actually subbed in and got that win. So I mean, that's a historic race as well.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, I was trying to, when I looked up to see who won everything, I was trying to remember that, and that makes a lot of sense, Matt, because I was like, when did he drive that car? I just can't remember it. So that's awesome, dude. Yeah, for sure. Jamie McMurray, now one of my favorite talking heads in NASCAR world. So, it's pretty awesome, too. Yeah.
Very good stuff. Amazing stuff there. That'll wrap up this week's Hall of Fame. All right, gentlemen, that puts us on the cool down lap. We got to take this thing home. Been a really fun one. Before we do that, we have to lock down our scheme of the week. Any paint scheme from any race car that raced over this past weekend. And that'll do a scheme of the week. We'll throw to Shawn first this week.
So I was thinking about this, and I'm going to get in one that's honestly not a special scheme necessarily, as one we see quite a bit, but from the truck series, the number 9 Grant Enfinger car with that Grant County mulch from West Virginia. I had to have a point to get that plug in here for our home state. We don't have a ton of representation in NASCAR, but that just puts a smile on my face every time I see that red and black truck zooming around there with a little bit of West Virginia on it, and I like Enfinger too. So yeah, that's mine for this week, the Grant County mulch Enfinger truck.
Nice. Very cool. Like that home state connection. Size will drop to you.
Well, I scream, you scream, we all scream for frozen custard. My scheme of the week is the Andes Frozen Custard, drove by Sam Mayer in the O'Reilly race on Saturday for Haas factory team. I really wish that they had used the actually Andes hood for custard on Sunday, so I could have made a cold custard joke. But instead, they had the Haas on their hood, so I had to go with the Sam Mayer one just because that Andes car looks so cool, and I love a good sweet treat.
No doubt. I love Andes, and I loved that car. Jeff, what about you?
Man, I'm going with a little bit of a team favorite here. We all love him, but I thought his car looked absolutely awesome this weekend. I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace and that Chumba Casino, like almost like a dinosaur-looking theme.
King Croc Fury.
Park vibes. That thing was sweet, man, and that was probably my favorite scheme of the weekend.
Yeah, I love that as well. That car was really cool. I'm going up, though, a bit out of NASCAR. I'm going to IMSA, as we saw the Porsche Penske's with matching paint schemes throwing it back to the 1980 24 Hours of Le Mans and those retro Apple computer schemes. Those things were beautiful.
Nice.
Good pick.
Lots of good schemes this week. I had a huge list, actually, of alternatives. Bubba was my number 2 with that King Croc Fury. I had to look it up. But that was
my number 2 was Bubba's teammate, Tyler, with that Rockstar car. I thought it looked sweet this week.
Yeah, Rockstar car was cool. Jeff, I had your boy Preece. I thought the Ballpark Buns and Rolls car was pretty cool. Big old cheeseburger on the side. You know, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually my number 2 on my list here. My backup was the Preece Ballpark car. So
the burger on the side was sweet. Made me hungry.
It was a primary sponsor week for me. My number 2, actually, and just because I thought we've finally seen it a lot more, but I really think the Ally 48 Alex Bowman's car is really cool this year. That color combination of the purple and tealish looking color, it just really pops, man. It's easy to spot that car on the track. I really like that one a lot, too.
Yeah.
It's like a Charlotte Hornet running around that track.
It does, man. I dig it. It's cool.
Well, that was sharp as well. I enjoyed Brandon Jones's Sprecher root beer truck. Brad Perez's had a good looking scheme. Kyle Busch's car before he destroyed it was cool looking. Byron had a good scheme. I thought Chase Elliott's prime scheme was solid. I got the ice cream car, the Andes, as you mentioned on there. And I thought Wood Brothers brought a cool looking Worth scheme as well. That red and black fade was cool. Lots of good schemes.
Yeah. Carson's chili paint scheme on the truck really popped to me too, man. It looked. I almost picked that. I know it's the same thing as the car, but it looked really good on that truck.
I think it looks better on the truck than it does the car.
And I really liked it on the truck as well. That was sharp.
Yeah.
A lot of good schemes. We live in good time for good schemes with the rap situation. But that's okay for me.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that moves us now to Watkins Glen. We're going upstate New York for some road course action. Before we do so, we have to make our picks.
Hey, you know what, Matt? You go first this week. You never get to go first.
Yeah,
okay, you go first, Matt.
here, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, gentlemen. We'll make our picks for the Cup race at Watkins Glen. I'll kick it off. If you're giving me first, I'm going to go with the home money, and I got to take Shane Van Gisbergen for the win at Watkins Glen. I'm sorry to do it to you. We'll cut over to Shawn.
Well, then, since you took the words right out of my mouth, tell you what I'm going to do, boys, this week. It's been a long time since he's run on a road course, but he's on a roll, and I'm going to be the ultimate homer. Chase Elliott gets a win where he got his first win all those years ago and was so dominant for so long. So let's say he kicks Shane like that ball right out of that spot this time. Chase Elliott gets it done.
I think that's a great choice. Eyes will drop to you.
I kind of alluded to it earlier. I think this week's going to be a redemption song for Mr. Christopher Bell. I think C-Bell's taking it in the Glen.
I think that is a good choice as well. Team, that a good run's coming for that team. What about you, Jeff?
All right. My guy that I'm picking this week is going to earn that Rookie of the Year award because Connor Zilisch is going to win his first Cup race this weekend in his rookie season at Watkins Glen.
Oh, there you go. Connor gets that first one. Could happen. Going to be a fun one in Watkins Glen, though. Can't wait for first kind of traditional road course of the year. We saw Coda. And speaking of Connor, I think that's going to play to him. He Coda a little more, and he had raced at Coda before, but I think Watkins Glen a little more in his wheelhouse. But it's going to be a tough task because it's just a ton of good road course talent in the Cup Series, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, and getting over that monster known as his teammate is going to be a big challenge. But I mean, you never know. Connor is a heck of a road course racer, though. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, Ty Gibbs says he would try to win, but Ryan Preece is going to take him out before this.
That'll be interesting to see.
Honestly, somebody sat on this panel a week or so ago and said Ty Gibbs would never win another race, but if that person is wrong, which he rarely is, one of these road courses would be a chance for that to happen.
Yeah, I think Ty Gibbs could very well have a good day at Watkins Glen. I think Reddick could as well, although he's not short on good days this season, but I think he could be a factor as well. And certainly, you got to mention Larson.
Yeah.
I mentioned Buscher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Buscher, good road courser.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buscher won, 2 years ago?
Yeah. He dueled with SVG there. He gave SVG always wanted a couple of different duels there. So, yeah, Buscher definitely going to be in play potentially.
And we've got all 3 series there, I do believe, this weekend, too. So
yeah, that's
that
exciting.
rare truck road course. Yeah. You got to love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be exciting seeing.
I think SVG's running for Nice, isn't he? He's doing the truck.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's going to be fun to see. And Dynasty making her truck series debut this week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
It'll be a fun weekend.
It is. Already looking forward to more racing, but that's going to be it for this week of High, Wide, and Handsome. Check us out on social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, High, Wide, and Handsome, as well as our parent company here, the Arson Brothers Entertainment. Check those out on the socials as well, and subscribe here to the Arson Brothers Network for more High, Wide, and Handsome. Some Arson Brothers Eats dropped a fresh one last week. Got a video hopefully coming this Friday from that Fried Pie Festival I mentioned.
Well, I know them heavy metal cheeseburgers looked pretty dang delicious on that last episode, so everybody should go check that out.
That's right. That they were from Oscars up in Barbersville.
Jeff liked it so much he went upside down.
Hey, man, that'll get you there.
Upside down. We'll just sing it out. Yes.
Burger, you turned me. All right, guys, it's been fun. Please say good night and good luck. We'll be back next week.